right, welcome to EETF 67 TV Time. We have a full house again tonight. So with me tonight, I have Nigma back. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you for inviting me back, Patrick.
No problem. We also have Hector Contreras. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sunday night, but that's that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I'm completely checked out, and
oh boy,
brain has stopped working as of 5 a.m. when my son woke me up this morning. So,
oh shit. Okay, condolences. Welcome back. We also have Woody Meacham. How are you?
Hey, Patrick. How are you? Good to see you.
Thanks. Yeah, still doing okay.
I know. Why do we always ask you how you're doing? We talk like for half an hour before we start rolling.
We talk every day.
We got to work on something better than this. Right.
I talk multiple times a day to you guys.
Noted. Noted. Let's put it down in the production notes for next time. Welcome back. We also have Kyle Hildreth. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome. Awesome.
Mixing it up. It's awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we also have Mike Drew. How are you?
I'm great. And I just got a text. So that's reminding me to turn my phone ringer off because otherwise it's going to be ding, ding, ding all night. Nobody
just like you do with the TVs. Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're that popular, huh? Favorite teacher for everyone?
No, it's just my wife trying to tell me where we got to go this week. So
sure it wasn't Nick. I heard
wow.
Honestly,
maybe she's telling him where to go this week. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
I got a place to tell Nick.
You always listen to the women in your life.
That's right. If you're smart.
Yeah, if you want to live a longer life. All right. So TV time. Let's jump right in. Let's start with Nick. What do you have for us?
So I'm going to go with a show that I think that you all have seen, or the majority of you seen, The Bear Season 3. Let's just get it out of the way, because that is a show that I know Woody has seen. And who else has seen it besides Woody?
Yeah, that's one of my three.
Yeah, here as well.
I haven't.
I have not watched it yet. I'm waiting.
Waiting for what?
Oh, you know what? Just the way the summer's worked out, we've been away and stuff, and I kind of want to be able to just go 1 to 10 nights and get, one done a night. But I haven't been in that situation yet. So as soon as that happens, I'll be ready to go.
Okay. All right. So, Nick.
I really loved the first season of The Bear that came out 2 years ago. It's a great show. Second season, I didn't love it nearly as much, but it was still really good. This one, okay. We need therapy time for a second, because this is the whole reason why I wanted to come back was to talk about this fucking season.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think it's weird because, when a show goes to their head and then they think, oh, we're so smart, we're at the peak, and we're going to do all these experimental things and nothing really advances the narrative, and they all have trauma. It's really a show about trauma at the end of the day. And it's not even really a comedy. Why are we calling this a comedy? I get anxiety watching this show, and I'm not an anxious person.
Was it the Emmy nomination comedy?
Yeah, it was the Martian of TV drama.
Yeah.
TV comedy, yeah.
I mean, it's got funny parts, but it's not the comedy in itself,
Who laughs during the show? Everyone I know does not laugh at this show or find it funny or a comedy. It's just straight up drama in many ways.
The one thing that's supposed to be comedy are the two numbnuts that are the buddies.
Fact Brothers?
Yes, them, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are making Woody cry. Come on.
They're supposed to be the comic relief of the show, but they're...
I have something about that, but... so basically you didn't like season 3?
I just think it jumped the shark, and it came across as pretentious. I thought it came across as self-gratulatory, and I thought it was just kind of boring, except for 2 episodes, I think, that were really solid episodes. And one of them was the one where it was just the Jamie Lee Curtis and the daughter who's pregnant, Chris Elliott's daughter, Abby Elliott. That was a phenomenal episode.
That's the one I like the least.
Can I
really?
You know what though? Can I point out that the second season, the episode with Jamie Lee Curtis, with the Christmas dinner or what have you,
Thanksgiving
dinner, that was my least favorite episode. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I hated that episode. And I'm gonna say what I just typed in the chat, which obviously our listeners can't hear. So my wife is not Canadian; she's not American, and after it took us about 4 episodes into the first season, and her exact words to me were, why do I want to watch a show about Americans yelling at each other? Because there was a lot of that.
That's this podcast, Mike Drew. It's just Canadians are added into the mix.
Yeah. I mean, we've been busy and I haven't had a chance to sit and watch each episode of the new season yet. But I also have to be in the mood because I know what's coming, right?
Yeah.
And
Good
You
point.
have to be in the mood, I think, for this show. And I try to give it, its proper due diligence, but I don't know. It just felt like nothing really happened. And it's all the same things that we kind of saw in the first 2 seasons. And the payoff isn't really all that good. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like shit on the show for others who liked it, but it rubbed me the wrong way because I loved the first 2 seasons so much that it felt like nothing happened for me.
Mike, actually, I thought your wife would have said something like, "This is shite, Mike. Boy, this is shite."
she's not from London, so she wouldn't.
Yeah,
say
sorry.
that. But no, I mean that was the big thing.
Bollocks.
Yeah, maybe.
Bollocks, yeah.
Bollocks. We have a chain of new pubs that have opened in Southern Ontario. It's called Bollocks. I don't know if you got them, Patrick, out there.
No.
And my son knows it as a swear word, right? So he's like, "Can they call it that?" And we're like, "Here, it doesn't mean anything." But anyway,
He goes to cunts.
well, that
What?
You know that part. Cunts.
do they have that in Massachusetts? I don't know.
That's
Wow,
all
we're
there
getting
is.
the
That's kind of all of our vocabulary.
That's a Boston favorite.
But yeah, apologies in advance for the spoilers, Mike, for season 3.
Oh, it's fine.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of them. But yeah, I just wanted to say, quick parentheses, the episode with Jamie Lee Curtis in season 2 was my favorite.
Me too.
But in this season, that was my least favorite. I'm not sure why. I think I'm still trying to, exactly pinpoint the reason, but I had to make a special effort not to just skip it entirely. I think that, Woody, you have a few things to say about
Being
this
so
season.
good.
I've just been resting back, waiting,
Here comes the Americans yelling at each other.
just waiting
Right.
for you guys to stop
punching your fist like this.
biting my tongue, literally.
Coming to it from the Chicago perspective, right?
Right. That's part of maybe why my bias is there is number one, it's Chicago. And number two, I cook. And like the whole episode at the end where they're at Ever, that's actually a real restaurant called Ever that's actually right by where I work. It's Curtis Duffy's newest place. It's a 2 Michelin star restaurant. It's awesome. But that whole scene, I was just nerding out because these guys, they were all professional chefs. And I'm like, oh, Wiley Dufresne. Oh my God. I know Grant Achatz. Oh my God, that's so cool. And then you've got Joel McHale as like the villain. And the whole payoff in that, where he was like, I made you. I was like, I knew they were going to do that. That sucked. I don't even remember who you are kind of thing. As a previous episode, that was my favorite insult from Mad Men.
Yes.
I don't even think about you. It was literally that type of thing. And I'm like, come on. But overall, I quite enjoyed it. Now, the payoff, the cliffhanger at the end.
Oh, yeah, the review. Yes.
Yeah, the review and the fact that the money isn't going to, the Oliver Platt character is not going to have the money, that type of thing. So I like how they're setting it up for the next year. So I loved the Jamie Lee Curtis, Abby Elliott episode. I liked the tension because it wasn't the restaurant.
Okay.
It was something totally different. And because of the exposure to the psychopath that Jamie Lee Curtis's character was in season 2, and the fact that Abby Elliott was basically like, I need you to stop, as from like a mental health perspective, I thought that was a really interesting way of dealing with somebody that is off, and how a lot of us have to deal with people that way. And I thought the way they wrote and handled that episode was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm splitting the diff between Nick and Woody here. I'm kind of in the middle. So there were things I really did like about this season in particular. Where there was I liked the character studies in between. You really get to focus more on Abby Elliott's character. I'm just blanking on it.
Let's just call it the sister.
The sister. Yeah, I actually did really like that episode. But I do understand that it can pour a little melodrama in there where it wasn't really. It's already pretty drama heavy. Where focus on very subtle. This one was very, for your consideration. Here's a big dramatic episode. But I thought it worked. But I can see how it doesn't.
I think the second half of the season was better than the first half.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
especially the first episode. I thought the first episode was pretty rough, and there was not a lot of dialogue. It was just a lot of music and staring.
I loved that first episode. I'm sorry.
Did the first episode pay off the cliffhanger from season 2? Well,
No.
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 Nope.
No.
I actually, for a while, I was like, what the hell's going on? because there was barely any talking in it. But then I got into the groove of it, and I loved how they paced that thing. It was artsy fartsy bullshit, but it hit the nail on the head with me.
Okay.
So I loved it.
So I thought the best episode actually was the one with Gloria, with her backstory of how she became the chef there. That episode was really good. It's really weird because it's almost like the episodes like that, and I think they did with at least one other character in the show where it kind of showed their origin story.
Isn't it Tina?
Or Tina? I think it might be Tina. I watched it like 3 months ago, so
The one with John Bernthal when they are chatting in the...
That was a highlight of the season. That
was a good episode.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Great episode, yes.
Yeah. Again, going back to like the characters, doing an individual for each one was nice. Because you ask yourself, why are these people putting themselves in such high-strung, high-anxiety situations? Like, what would have brought them there initially? And you can tell that it was all like for loyalty and caring for one each other. Like, it's the motivator that makes you believe that these characters exist. That one, for me in particular, that's like, okay, I get it. What would have put her in that restaurant in the first place? Because she doesn't seem like the kind of person that would just hang out with these people socially. So
That's true. And also, I need one-word answers from you. Did you mind all the cameos? Nick?
Oh, I have to give one word. I was gonna say, who the fuck cares? So
Okay. One word.
Sean, what's his name? The wrestler.
Oh,
John
Cena.
Cena.
Yeah. Sean.
Sean Cena.
You know why I said Sean? Because there's my daughter says Sean Cena. We made this joke about how we misheard John Cena, so I call him Sean Cena.
Shawn Michaels is disappointed in it.
And that whole joke about being haunted was so bad.
Horrible.
I could have done without that whole joke. If that's the comedy that they're being Emmy nominated for, then, fuck that. Because that's...
Yeah. I hated that part.
But that was like the whole thing between those two Fack brothers was the whole joke about being haunted. That was all their dialogue. It was like, are you haunted? You being haunted? Like,
almost all of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I gotta say that Richie, again in the first half of the season, like the fuck you. No, fuck you. No. Please allow me go fuck you. Stop
I could
it.
do with that. We saw 2 seasons of that. Move on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, let's move on, please.
But
hey, speaking of...
I'm sorry?
I said, speaking of moving on, we're Deadpool and Wolverineing the Bear season 3.
Well, 3 of us, that's, first of all, I agree with you. And second of all, that's all I got for my show. You're killing my show and Nick's show.
Oh, sorry, bud. Okay, sorry.
So let's combine the times for that.
I got nothing else on the... But, the Bear, honestly, let's say... Again, we will go back to the weird rating system from last episode. If season 1 was, let's say, 8... season 2 was, I'd say 9.5. I would go season 3, maybe
6 sounds
7. 7, yeah.
6.5.
I mean, I'm glad I watched it. I'm still on board for next season, absolutely. But like the lows were lower than usual.
It's the worst season that they've had overall.
Yeah, it felt uneven, but there were still amazing.
I have one last complaint.
I'm still on
board. It's the editing.
Yes, please.
The when they're trying to get into like his brain and how frustrated he is, but the whole Joel McHale thing is bullshit. I don't like Joel McHale in general. That's how I always see him as that character. So when I saw him there, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be that prick. But then when you see like the whole buildup of that and the editing of how like he's got the reviews and like all the lines and everything, like the fast paced editing. It's supposed to be like, oh, this is what's bothering him, this whole, like, and this is why he's got to strive for perfection. But all I could think of was like those early 2000s, late 90s, like when they would make those movies and they would just be all just fast paced editing, like the movie Saw and like, like all those, I don't know what it is, like those Matrixy looking movies where it had to be edited to like shot. And it just gave me a headache. It gave me the same thing.
It's these studio execs who are supposed to be on coke all the time, not the editor. So, slow it down a little bit.
The Tarantino style, everything's just coke-filled, edited, like that Run Lola Run.
Something like that, yeah.
Transpotted, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Woody, what did you think about this season compared to the other 2?
I've got them all rated about the same. So I've got them all at about an 8.
Okay.
With episodes popping up into the 10, but overall, I find it a very consistent show. I like the weird editing.
I'm a little concerned because I like the second season way more than the first season. Because the first season was rough for me. The first couple episodes, I'm like, why do I want to just watch these angry people yelling at each other?
Oh, this is bollocks, Moy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Americans.
There's your episode title.
Yes. That probably sounded more Australian, but whatever.
Or South African or something. No, it's funny because the first, 3 episodes of, and I was going to give up. But I'm like, everybody keeps, yapping on about this. And I knew the acting was brilliant. I could tell that. But, and then the first season for me picked up at the end. And then the second season I thought was brilliant. But yeah, this one, I just got to be in the right headspace, I think. So,
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Okay. So, Nick, what else do you have?
Yeah, I'll go through some of these. Have people seen Hacks, the show Hacks on Max?
No, but I heard about
I
it.
want to,
I've
yeah.
never seen it.
The season 3 came out a few months ago, and the season 2 was 2 years before. They took a year off. It's a good show. It's a showcase for Jean Smart, who is a really great veteran actress. She was on Designing Women and a lot of different things over the years.
You said Hacks.
Right.
I thought you said
I heard-
Hex.
I heard HEX as
Hacks.
well.
So did I. And then,
Okay.
Same.
and then I heard Gene Smith, and I was like, oh, wait.
That's
Being
the
smart.
Texas coming out of him.
Smart. What is going on? Hacks.
You can take the boy out of Texas, but you can't take the Texas out of the boy.
Hacks was good. Season 3 was good. I didn't really enjoy season 2 as much, so season 3 was a little bit better for me because season 2 was like the whole season was like a road trip, which I kind of didn't like. I liked it where it was more about the show and the showbiz side a little bit more. This one was kind of a return to that. I highly recommend it. I think it's one of the best sitcoms on television and just overall comedy shows. And
What's it on?
it's about Jean Smart.
It's on Max. HBO Max down here. He asked, what was it on?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
I was just going to listen to what you're saying, too.
But see, I wouldn't call it a comedy. Like,
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it a comedy. I think it's like a dramedy almost,
Oh, okay.
I think it's both, but it's more of a comedy because there's more comedic elements, and it's kind of it's hard because there's very dramatic things that happen. Like,
Yeah, I don't think the narrative is comic. Like, it's not. I don't think there are things that lead to jokes. I think that Jean Smart's character and the other actress, and I can't remember her name, I think they'll throw lines at each other, but I don't feel like. I mean, spoiler for those people who haven't seen it, but it's really about a stand-up. The second season is about the stand-up trying to establish a new kind of take on her career, right? Which I really like the second season. And I get why you didn't as much as the first, because the first was great as well. But I don't find it like, haha, funny. And I don't even think I laughed that much, to be fair. But I was engaged. I really liked the show.
Yeah, I think that it's a show that does kind of border on comedy and drama, but I think there's more comedic elements just because of the banter. Like, it's almost like, how do I say this nicely? I'll just say it. It's like bitchy. It's like bitchy humor. They're all like terrible to each other.
It's the generation gap between the two. I think that's kind of I don't want to say cliche, but that's the element that's making that happen, right?
Are you guys talking about the bear?
Yeah.
Well, no. Actually, Kyle, I was just going to bring it up. That's the reason why I stopped season 2, was because why do I want to watch a show of two people just being mean to each other? It's why I gave up on what's the Stephen Yo Netflix show?
Oh, Beef.
Beef. I gave up on Beef.
Oh, I couldn't get into it.
But so Hacks, you're saying third season is a little bit different because I gave up on season 2.
I liked it. I thought it was a return to form for you because season 1 was awesome, and then season 2 kind of dropped a little, and this one kind of brought it back up a little for me.
Okay, cool.
And I thought the writing was much better too. I thought the writing was actually the highlight here for season 3, besides the performances.
All right.
And I have 2 other shows I'll talk about that. I'll mention another one. The Sympathizer, which is on Max, that was with Robert Downey Jr. And Park Chan-wook is one of the creators or the showrunners, directors, and he did Old Boy. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie.
Yep.
And Lady Vengeance. He's like a South Korean filmmaker.
Oh yeah.
He's really fantastic in contemporary cinema. So when I saw him and Robert Downey Jr., it's like, let's go.
The trailer turned me off completely, though, when I realized that Downey Jr., spoiler, was, playing several parts.
Doctor Doom.
Not in that one. I was like, this feels more like how can I say, like a look at what I can do piece from Downey. And I was like, nope, not for me. Maybe I'm missing out because apparently the reviews are really good.
I didn't really like it all that much personally. Like I thought it was very to me because it's an A24 show and it's the people who did Beef as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Are they dropping the ball this year and last year and the year before?
Yeah, their shows just don't land for me for some reason as much as their movies. But like,
Their movies,
yeah,
They did the first year, and then they knew who they were the rest of the time.
I mean, honestly, I didn't even know that they were that involved in TV shows, A24.
I didn't either.
I thought it was mostly movies, only movies.
No, they branch out the TV like they did of what was that Nathan Fielder showed Emma Stone the
Curse?
The Curse, yeah, that's A24 as well.
Okay.
Are they branded as A24 or is it like a different name?
No, they're A24. It shows it at the very beginning of each episode. See, the thing is, this is based on a Pulitzer Prize winning novel, and I feel like a lot of the things didn't translate as well, and it's kind of confusing if you didn't read the book. So I think it's one of those, if I had read the book, The Sympathizer, before watching the show, I'd probably get more out of it. But watching it, I was very confused. But it is fun to see Robert Downey Jr. be like Peter Sellers, because he plays like all these different roles, and it's just, you can tell he's having a good time playing like, 8 roles. It's just ridiculous.
It's something like that, yeah. Like in the trailer, you see like at least 4, but no, yeah. Maybe I'm missing out, but
it's an okay show. It's an okay mini.
It doesn't sound like Yara, Patrick.
Sorry, yeah.
It's super
Patrick,
okay.
do you have a drop for an awkward moment? Do you have that awkward silence drop? No? Okay.
Just crickets.
Crickets. That's a good one.
I'm thinking about it.
Anyway, yeah, that was one. And then the other one I was going to mention was, I know you guys don't like reality shows, but oh my God, we have to talk for a second.
Which one?
Because I don't watch TV as much as Drew or Woody at all. So I'm really proud of myself that I had 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So Owen in Manhattan is on Netflix. And if people who are listeners, if they followed $1 Million Listing, like New York, that's on Bravo.
Sorry, what's the name again?
Owen in Manhattan.
Owning?
Owning, like you own something.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And it's like a reality show about like a real estate
Manhattan.
firm. And it's just really, it's interesting to me. And like Ryan's great. He's from the Massachusetts area. But he was on for 10 years with the Bravo show. And yes, I do like the Below Deck and $1 Million Listing. Judge me. I don't give a shit. I like it. I own it. I don't care. It's good. There's so much to love about those shows. And it's not a masculine feminine thing. It's just, it's good trashy TV. It's like fast food. But anyway,
Everybody's got their vice. That's fine.
the first season's on Netflix of Owen in Manhattan, and it's just about his real estate firm. I highly recommend it. It's fun. It's like they fight, they get listings, they screw each other. It's fun. It's just like, I don't know.
It's the challengers of television.
It really is.
I'm noticing a trend here, Nick.
There's not as many balls that are being dropped.
Oh, shit.
But you know what? There are a lot of rackets because, okay, anyway.
There you go.
Oh,
good one.
okay.
So anyway,
Full
All
circle.
right, nice.
I'll show myself up.
I recommend it. And then there's one more show, and then I'm going to stop because I can't believe I had this many shows. Okay, I've been kind of obsessed because I play my sister. On Max, they've had this show called Beachfront Bargain Hunt Renovation. Oh my God. So
That's a lot.
stop.
Jesus.
They took 7 shows and put them together.
It's the most formulaic shit ever. And then
A reality show? Okay.
Yeah, who would have thought?
every episode is the same. 40 minutes. Half of it is like, oh, what 3 houses am I going to buy? Oh, I'm going to buy this house. And it's like my second house or whatever. Then the second half is them renovating the house. And, oh, I didn't realize like this. Like, you should have got an inspection. You should have done all these things. And, like, they're, like, stupid to people. But, oh, my God, it's so much fun to watch. It's like,
Those are fun.
again, like the $1 Million Listing show. It's, like, not good TV. It's like you turn your brain off to watch it. But,
It's junk food, yeah.
oh, it's so much fun to watch just because it's great.
Is it all set in one place, or is it different places?
That's a great question, Drew. It's all over the U.S.
They buy the same house over and
Yeah.
over again.
So it's like a different. So it's wherever there's water. So usually a lot of it is like Texas, Florida, North Carolina, New Jersey.
My backyard.
Then they branch out to like the West Coast too at some points. They should have beachfront bargain hunt renovation in like Nebraska. Can you imagine that? That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I like the short-term memory show that we're building here. So
Right.
someone doesn't remember they just purchased the house and they sold it, and then half an hour later they come back and they're, oh wow, this house looks terrific. I can't wait.
And then I say to myself, Hector, like I feel like shit. I could watch the show. And I'm like, let's go buy
Let's
a
do
house
this
and
again.
renovate it.
Oh boy. Yikes.
It's like those cooking shows, right?
Yeah.
When you
Yes.
back me up. You're like, I can do that, and then you're like, why does it look like?
Why
this?
is my
I don't
kitchen
know.
on fire?
That's right.
Gotta rehab that.
I like it, but the funny part is my sister and mom who watch it, and then I watched it, and it was on Max, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I laugh at the credits. It's HGTV, which is like very funny.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of
Anyway, that is my whole beachfront bargain hunt renovation, which is a fucking mouthful to say, by the way. Like
It is.
they should shorten it, but it's so good.
IHOP.
It's not
I
good,
want-
but it's really good.
To be fair, I want all shows like that. That's the title I want, because I know exactly.
Right.
Yes, I want to watch it. No, I don't. The Bear.
Yeah.
It's about a restaurant in Chicago. Really? I wouldn't have known.
How many bears are in that damn thing?
I think they make it longer on purpose to make so that fans of the show will make an acronym out of it, and it'll get popularized that way and make social, make it
Smart.
social media,
BBHR. Oh my god.
something like
That would
that.
be crazy. But that was like I was excited to talk about this show for some reason with you guys, even though it's like not the demographic. So
That's okay. I'm gonna. Is it not Netflix? You said or Max?
on
You said Max. Yeah. Next time I open up Max and it comes on, I'll be like, oh, Nick said so.
And then you're gonna text me, fuck you, Nick. I can't believe you made me watch this. It's not good, but it's just good trash TV. And I need that in my life.
You do.
Yeah,
We all do.
do.
We all
yeah.
need something.
Yeah.
But that's all I have, Patrick. I'm sorry, guys, for my trash.
No, it's okay. Don't be. Okay, so thank you, Nick. Hector, what do you have for us?
So I only have two shows. So we'll make it. One of them will go by real quick. It's Batman Caped Crusader on Max. It's terrific.
Oh,
It's like watching animated series from the 90s.
it's a cartoon, right?
So I think they took a cue. Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Okay.
And the voice actor, I'm blanking on his name. Like makes it his own. Takes like Kevin Conroy's voice from the animated series from the 90s, but then does his own spin on it, and it's good. It makes some changes that it's just fun to see. Like they make Penguina.
Oh.
You'd think it would be kind of gimmicky, but it works. And then they bring back some old stories, but then make them from the original graphic novel comic book. So,
Hamish Linklater?
yep, that's him.
That's the guy who does
Yeah,
the voice?
he's good.
Okay.
He does a good job.
Does Mark Hamill do the Joker?
No.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, no Joker this season. But there is a classic villain in it.
Penguina.
Penguina, yeah. She's only in one episode, but there's another villain in there. It is serialized like the original animated series. It's just a fun watch. You don't have to... There are 2-part episodes here and there, but so was the animated series. So if you like that, it's like watching a continuation of that. It kind of feels like what X-Men 97 did, where it just like go back to something that everyone really enjoyed and keep going with that.
It's not a kids animated show though.
Correct. Although Sophia will watch it and she really liked it. There are some more violent parts, and there are, there's some swears. So it's like a PG-13 version of what, if animated series was PG, this was PG-13.
They're literally killing people.
Cartoons.
No, but it's like,
Bloody.
I don't want to ruin the first episode, because in the first episode, there's like a straight up murder. And it's just, you're like, whoa. Because I watched it with my son who's 23, so he's not like a little kid. But we kind of got to the end of it, though, Hector, and we just kind of looked at each other and went, yep, it's Batman.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's really violent. He goes, yeah, I know, it is kind of. So
Is it episodic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, which is weird because DC gave it over. So it should have been on Max because it's DC, but they gave it over to Amazon, the rights for this one.
And X-Men is on Amazon
Disney.
Prime
Correct.
as well. Yes, X-Men.
No,
No,
that was on Disney.
X-Men's on Disney. Sorry.
Yeah.
X-Men's on Disney.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney
Sorry,
Plus.
Down
I'm
here, I don't.
getting people
Yeah.
confused.
You all up there, I don't know, but Disney. y'all up in the Canada.
Yeah. But Bruce Timm is involved. It's a really good show. I dug it. And yeah, again, if you liked the animated series, it's less like Woody suggested. It's less kiddie friendly, but so I think it almost felt like fan service to the kids who watched the animated series, and now they're in their probably 30s, 40s.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah. So, so I otherwise enjoyed it. And then my last show is a show I just actually started watching last week. It's called Bodkin on Netflix, and that is.
I've got it on my list.
Okay. All right. So I really liked it. It's about two podcasters that from New York, New Jersey, no, Chicago. And
I'll watch it then.
Yeah. One of them,
two podcasters, no, from
Yeah.
Chicago. Yes.
And they cook.
Yep.
Oh my God,
And
they
then
do.
they sell their house. Yeah.
It's the perfect marriage. One of them is played by Will Forte. And then they are doing a true crime podcast on the disappearance of a kid who I won't get too much into it, but basically they're trying to figure out a mystery. And then someone else who is a journalist for The Guardian is in some she's in some hot lava with her job because of a informant that she was interviewing committed suicide, and the police think she's might be involved in his death. So her boss was like, you need to stay out of and work on another assignment. So he sets her up with this podcast gig to go work on that while she's just trying to stay out of the area. But the town that they're doing the podcast in and they send her to is her birth town, her hometown, and she hates it.
No.
She has very bad, so she's very much a curmudgeon, and she's just a downright moody person, just not happy. And part of it is related to that town and that area. And
So that actress's name is Siobhan Cullen.
Siobhan Cullen, yes.
And I'm going to talk about her in another show later too. I'm just, before you go any further, I got stuck at episode 1, and the main character, like what's his name? I can't think of it.
Will Forte?
Yeah.
Will Forte, yeah.
Oh my God, his character's super annoying, and I couldn't get past it. So
then I'm out.
should I? Because I gave up. I watched episode 1, and I was going to say, I rarely do that. I usually give it 2 or 3 episodes. I couldn't, just because of him. So should I keep going or should I stop?
Yeah, I would keep going.
Okay.
His introduction, especially when you first meet him and he's just comes off as this just super hokey podcaster, that dies down and it gets more involved with the people in the town.
Okay.
And they're trying to unlock this mystery. So
that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what that sounded like, Hector? Did you see a movie from a few years ago called Vengeance? That's with BJ Novak, the guy who did The Office. I
wanted to see it, and said because I kept showing trailers in the theater, and I just completely forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me.
It's okay. It didn't land with me, but a lot of people seem to like it. I mean, it was fine, but it seems like a very similar premise.
Yes, I agree with you with the premise, but it's more like a Martin McDonagh type of vibe. So okay. if you like those, like the In Bruges,
okay,
it's like that.
Is it like only murders in the podcast? What is it? Only murders in the building?
No, it's nothing like that. No. This is more. This is because it takes place in Ireland, and it's in a fictional town. Yeah.
You mentioned her being in hot lava before. I was like, does she get sent to Iceland?
Right.
I couldn't think of the. Yeah. Well done.
All right. Thank you, Hector. Woody, now it's your turn. Go ahead.
I had a few. So, number one, I just want to close out because we started talking about X-Men 97 on the previous TV, but the season wasn't done yet.
True.
This is probably my best show of the year.
The year.
Okay. The year. And we're in August. So I just thought it closed out so well. And I know at least Kyle watched it.
Yeah, Kyle watched it.
Okay. So
doesn't sound like
how did you think it finished up? Because I thought
Kyle does not approve.
They made Cyclops a badass, which I've been waiting for.
He should be a badass.
Right.
Yes.
And the setup for the next season, I'm excited to see how they're going to pull it off, seeing as they have a new writing crew coming in.
I think he wrote season 2, though.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
good.
so. So there's going to be a lot more nudity. I know that.
Nice.
Beau DeMayo. It's timely jokes here, guys.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like the ending. and I love the show. I watched the whole thing with a smile on my face. Everything was great. And then they pulled that baloney at the end where they're sending some people here, some people here, some people here. And it just doesn't, it's so many stories from the comics. And I know I harp on that way too much, that they're always, I'm the guy who likes the book better than the movie. But they take so many different stories and ram them together. And that's the part that makes me just so frustrated. Because I know you've got to make it different than the book. Because when you have a movie, you got to, make it different. And that's fine, because usually they do it fine and well.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was just annoying. That's the best way I can put it. Because I love the show. The show was great.
See, and I don't read, so I don't get hung up on that.
So in that case, you're all set. Yeah.
Right.
No, I get it.
So I know the storylines, but I loved that the Easter egg at the end of it, where they have the board with all of the faces of the different heroes, and some are X'd out and some aren't, which is leading up to who's going to be in the storylines coming into next year. I thought that was super cool.
That part's cool because anytime they show, there's so many goddamn characters in X-Men.
Right.
If you show tiny or even half small character from way back, it's awesome. But that big board is from a big story that they screwed up in the movies already twice. And now they're doing it for a third time. And it's just it's a great visual, but it doesn't tie in well with what they're doing, I think. It's a time travel story. It's a lot of baloney, but yeah.
I like bologna.
I do too.
Fried bologna?
No, straight out of the package.
So good.
A little Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip?
Love Miracle Whip.
Great House?
Of course.
High five.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. So that was that one I wanted to get out of the way. All right. Next one I've got is Invincible Season 2.
I haven't started it, and I've heard not so great things, so I'm stuck at one, and I don't know if I should go on, honestly, because it's kind of okay. No,
What is it?
You've watched it. You should talk. I should shut up.
What is it?
Invincible. It's the animated series based on the Robert Kirkman book before Walking Dead.
Gotcha.
Again, I don't read them, so I'm not hung up on any of the thing if it's good or not, or if it follows the story structure. I don't care. I just watch it and it's cool. So I thought it was good. Now, I liked first season a lot better.
Okay.
And definitely, but this one it was more I liked a few of the episodes more. So I would say a third of the episodes
once more, please.
Fewer of the episodes more. So meaning a third of the episodes I liked, the other ones I didn't really care much for. But I would recommend it if you like the series, you're going to keep going with it. I really like just how it mimics the Justice League and a lot of that type of stuff. And it played into that. And there's a really good, when you watch it, you'll go, oh, they were good. Why didn't Ant-Man do that to Thanos in Infinity War? And you'll go, oh, that's why, because they pay it off in this thing of what actually happens when somebody tries to do that.
Oh.
It's
crawl up his ass and then go
what?
big.
What movie is that?
Yep.
That is priceless. There you go.
So I would say watch it just for that, because I thought it was they were oh, they were listening to somebody on that.
That's cool.
I'll edit out that
Not
part.
at all. That's gold. That is
spoilers.
gold.
This is going to come up again.
Yep.
Somebody's ass.
Yeah. Then you get the analogy of a bug up your ass. That's exactly perfect.
All right. I'm going to jump to a new show, which is Dead Boy Detectives on Netflix. So if you guys don't know Dead Boy Detective, it's from Neil Gaiman's Sandman series.
Oh, Angie does. My wife does.
And it's about two ghosts that do detective work for other ghosts.
Wow. That's niche.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of cool. And then what ends up happening is with every, the show Ghosts, where the woman falls down and knocks her head and now she can see ghosts. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
So that they have a real human person that works with the two ghosts. But then they have to come up with a premise to keep them in one spot. So they go off to an island and then something happens and they can't leave the island. And so the entire season is about them getting off the island. It is British people, Drew. So you might like it.
Oh, his ears are burning.
Right.
Dead Boy Detective.
Two guys have accents.
Is it like Lost? A British Lost?
It's like a small coastal town in Washington that they end up going to, Washington State.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, kind of.
British Columbia.
But I would definitely recommend it. It's a pretty easy watch. I think it's only like 7 episodes, 6-7 episodes, maybe. But I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, we will end up watching it no matter what, because it's Neil Gaiman, and that's Angie. It's one of her 5 favorite authors. So.
Right.
And
Good.
this isn't another animated one, is it?
No, it's live action.
But is that another theme, like this year's theme, ghosts, where every other show has ghosts in it?
Seems like that.
Yeah.
There's
very
Ghost
ghost
on
heavy.
CBS, and then there's this Ghost, and
Yeah, all 2 of these shows I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
trying to remember.
So far,
I was with
nobody's
you with
referenced the show with a
that
ghost
premise collapse.
except this one.
End of the Bear, I saw one guy die.
Oh yeah, there is a ghost in that.
The Ghost of
And there's
Beachfront
haunting.
Bargain Hut renovation.
Hey,
Right.
yo.
We need more words in that title.
All right. Next one I've got is the new Doctor Who. So
Oh,
it's with,
movie.
I still have trouble saying his name, but it's Nkudi Gatwa. So he's the new Doctor. He split off from David Tennant and to create this new Doctor, and it's on HBO Max down here, so it's considered season 1. So even though the other season wrapped at like 13
No.
with that news turn, they're calling this one season 1.
Was
then-
David Tennant the last Doctor before him?
No,
no, like
it
5
was,
doctors.
So this is
Well,
Yeah.
they bring him back, though. The way they set up this new Doctor was in the holiday special from last year, which they always have a holiday special,
Mhm.
that had Neil Patrick Harris in it. And
Oh.
was really quite enjoyable.
magical, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, he does play, he plays a toy maker, not a magician.
A ghost?
Not a ghost. Right. But they have, again, some really good themes that they pull throughout the story. A girl named Millie Gibson plays his companion, Ruby Sunday. And yeah, I know, but it pays off because of it's how she gets the name, and
Ice cream.
yeah, could have been.
She's a 30-second.
There is a lot of snow.
Shoes.
There's a lot of snow, so it could have been. But
Cocaine.
Who's writing this?
it's back. It's
Stephen Moffat.
Moffat. Yeah,
Yeah, he can't
So-
stay away from the Doctor Who.
exactly. So I quite enjoyed the new season.
Huh.
All right. Next one I'm going to hit is the latest season of The Boys.
Yep.
Anybody got that? All right, you guys got that too. Cool. So again, super violent, exactly what you want.
Batman, yeah.
Right. I wanted, the Homelander. I believe Homelander dies in the books, but he hasn't died yet. Sorry,
You wouldn't
if
know,
that's a
you don't
spoiler to
read.
anybody.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't read that either.
I don't read the book.
So, same.
I'm gonna just get a T-shirt that says "I don't read the book." But again, there was some really good twists and turns in the show this year. Stuff that I didn't think was going to happen that did, and that's all you can really ask for in a show that's in its 4th season, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Okay, so you liked. Okay,
Uh-oh.
I kind of liked it, but I felt it was a massive drop compared to the previous seasons. I thought the writing took a dive, and also there were a few subplots, like Frenchie having killed someone. I thought that was super lame, to such a point that I skipped forward whenever it would keep going on like this. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
move
no
on.
Frenchie.
And
Frenchie.
I don't know, like I felt like all the characters became not dumber, but less complex, less layered,
I was actually seeing that seeing that trend going in season 2, and that's why I've been slow to go into the following season.
Hmm.
It seemed like the writing was it seemed a little more Fast and Furious than yeah.
Way more on the nose as well,
Yeah.
especially so those guys, that they are the MAGA, I was going to say something not nice, but like the MAGA fanatics,
Yeah.
let's say. This is way too on the nose. Maybe the political climate doesn't...
well, no, they specifically wrote it that way, though.
Oh yeah.
The writer, no, because
Okay.
Firecracker, he said, is based off of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
He came right out and said that.
Mhm.
So when you look at it through that lens, that's where I enjoyed it a lot more, of going, no, they're actually specifically trying to reflect what's going on right now.
Maybe okay, so maybe that was too much for me or something. But
You got to live down here, dude.
fair point.
Do you though?
Fair point. No, yeah, okay. I'm still on board for next season, but
I think it's only going one more.
I think so, yeah.
Can they wrap it up?
It felt like this one was a drop. But I gotta say that Anthony Starr,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who plays Homelander, he is
Perfect.
absolutely fantastic.
I agree.
And you know what, too? Like, he's going to be typecast as that character. Like, any role that his agent gets him is going to be that.
Not really, because he goes back to dark hair. You're not going to know it's him.
Damn.
Yeah, that's true. Because have you guys, I know I've talked about this in previous episodes, but Banshee, it's on Cinemax.
You've mentioned it. Yep.
And that is, you know, super pulpy, ultra violent, and no, yeah, it's great if you can track it down. Banshee, it's awesome. Anthony Starr is great, and yes, dark hair, blonde hair.
Right. But the thing about it that they do is, so the actress that plays Firecracker, the alt-right leaning person, is actually lesbian.
In real life.
Yeah.
Last year, Stormfront, who was a Nazi, was played by a Jewish woman. They actually do that on purpose. They cast somebody who that character would oppress as the person playing it.
Now, is that only the bad guys, or is it just...
Well, the Deep is not a fish.
Oh, that's racist.
And you know what, Woody? I'm going to eat my own words because I just looked up Anthony Starr, and he was in a movie called Cobweb that I watched last year, and I didn't recognize him.
Right.
Damn it.
Okay.
He was in a great Kiwi show called Outrageous Fortune as well. It was about a crime family.
Oh.
And he plays two characters because he plays a twin of himself as well. And one of them's like a real doughhead, like just a real idiot. But the other one's like really clever. And he's brilliant in both of them.
Oh.
Does one have a goatee?
No.
Ugh,
It's a lot of makeup.
I'm out.
Well, I gotta say something very unfortunate. Starlight's name, Erin Moriarty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what she did to her face, but
It was one.
not good.
No, she actually posted a TikTok about it. It was just one day. She had really good contouring. She didn't have any work done to her face.
Huh.
That was a whole other thing that they were like, she got a bunch of plastic surgery. She's like, no, I didn't. I just thought I had a really good day where I looked good. And so I took a bunch of pictures.
That's funny.
Look it up. It's very
AI.
true.
yeah, but like, no, I mean, come on, you have to look. You have to compare from one season to another. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I don't know what happened, but something happened.
So sorry, I want to go back to the one thing I was talking about before, though, about playing into the characters. So they have a new guy playing Black Noir.
Yes,
The guy has
White.
narcolepsy.
Oh,
The actual actor has narcolepsy. They wrote it into the show.
Okay,
that's, yeah.
okay.
So like in the middle of a fight, he falls asleep. It's hilarious. And then when you find out that he actually has the narcolepsy, you're like,
What are they,
Oh,
the
that
Farrelly
rat that
brothers?
they
Like,
wrote
they're
it
just...
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Sounds bad for season 5.
Right.
They're going to be
The
scratching the
sleeper
bottom
hit of
barrel.
2025.
No, okay. So yeah, actually, your points are quite valid, Woody. Everything you said, it's like, how can I say? Like, it gives a new perspective on the latest season. And no, yeah, that's good. I'm glad. I've learned a couple of things today, so that's
Not
good.
that girl's face, though.
Yes, Woody, Mr. Rogers.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Erin Moriarty is still, a smoke show, but something happened. That fast.
We're catching up on the second episode after.
Aaron, if you're listening, we still love you.
Yes.
Yes.
Basing
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
Please continue.
Next show I've got is the final season of The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I knew that
Any
you
of
were
you guys?
coming because you mentioned boys and they feel like the sisters of shows.
Okay. So I was disappointed in it.
Yeah.
So talk about, even though they have, why am I blanking on their names? Megan Mullally and Nick
Offerman.
play two doctors, Jean and Jean, spelled differently,
I like that.
that are leading the secret society. They're actually quite entertaining in the show, but overall, it didn't end well. There's so many like holes in the finale, that I was just like, yeah, but. Well,
I mean, anything with time travel is going to open up.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just, once you bring that into the equation, it's, there's too many plot holes.
Exactly. But it was fine. In that one, I felt like I had to complete it. So I completed it.
We know about that.
Yeah. Which I'll get to next.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I've got 4 shows that you should not watch, or
Oh,
I
boy.
gave up on.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
right.
Yeah.
1,
Thank you for your service.
thank you. I'm here to help. So we went to Savannah a few months ago, Maria and I, the wife and I was like, oh, I should download something. And so I started just randomly downloading things. And then we got stuck on the plane for an hour before we could take off.
Yep.
The only thing I had available to watch
Was porn.
was a movie.
Is that episodic? I didn't
Yeah.
know.
It can be. Depends what kind you get. Sorry. What movie did you get?
For those that
I'm
can't
not
see,
telling you.
Woody is like a teacher. He's holding his finger. He's waiting for the class to settle down.
Class
Go
settle.
sit in the corner.
So non-porn movie. And then I downloaded a show called Tires
Oh.
Oh,
with Shane Gillis, right?
he's not funny.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Tired.
Shane
Yeah, I
Gillis.
know what it is.
And it's about a tire shop.
hmm
Okay.
And it's
So how could it not be good?
It was no.
Oh,
it was
What?
garbage. But
I don't
it
like
was
it.
the only thing I had to watch on a plane, so I had to watch all of the episodes.
Oh boy. Well,
In an hour? Just polish
In
it
an
all
hour,
up.
I think I watched them all,
wow.
or something like that. It's a Netflix sitcom. They're not that long.
7 episodes. 6 episodes.
Yeah, there were 6 episodes, so maybe like when the plane took off or whatever. But it was racist,
You were pissed that whole trip.
sexist, not funny.
That's the real crime.
It was just garbage.
That doesn't sound like Shane Gillis.
Yeah, exactly.
For listeners, Woody, isn't that the guy that got fired from Saturday Night Live?
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Those
Yes.
things popped up. He is not funny because I
No.
tried to watch that with my parents, and they were like, "Oh, a tire shop," and we turned it off after the first one. We're like,
Yeah.
"Life's too short."
I agree.
Yep.
Wow.
So avoid that one. Very hard.
Yeah.
All right. The other ones are, as I told you guys about how I started and stopped 4 shows in one night. So, or I gave up on 4 shows in a row. And so here's the very quickly, and this is what will wrap it up. So as That 90s Show season 2.
Season 2.
Specifically season 2. Not...
Yeah. Well, I already watched season 1. I was like, okay, I see what it's trying to do. But I got halfway through season 1. I'm like, this is hot garbage as well.
For you to say that.
Even though I know,
So
as a spoiler, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes show up in the last episode.
Why?
They play Kevin Smith plays Tommy Chong's son.
oh boy.
What?
So he's going to become their drug dealer. So there was a lot of that type of like, ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
So that one, no. The next one I've got is Unstable. Do you know what that show is?
Rob Lowe?
Second
Rob
season's
Lowe.
out now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Second
Oh, yeah,
season.
okay.
Got halfway through the first episode of that. And I'm like, why
Nope.
the hell am I watching this show? So
First episode.
Who's the other guy in that?
it's
His son.
Oh, it's really his son?
It's Rob Lowe's
John.
son. Yeah.
Oh,
John
okay.
Owen.
All right.
Yeah.
And then like Judd Apatow's daughter pops up in it this year.
Oh,
Oh boy.
So it's just stuff
That
like
doesn't
that. I'm
help.
just like, okay, that's what this show is.
Yeah. Wow.
The next one
nepotism.
is called The Decameron
Oh,
on Netflix.
that was on my list.
I heard
I
about
didn't
that,
see it,
yes.
but I was on my queue to watch
Is the
next.
camera in one word?
Yes,
Okay.
D.A. Cameron.
I was on the fence about that.
It's the Kirk Cameron.
Oh, okay.
But it's supposed to be like some
Sorry.
medieval, right? Some medieval comedy
Yeah.
show.
No, that never
And
works.
nothing landed. It's got one of the girls from Dairy Girls in it.
Okay.
So the blonde lead
Yeah.
character from Dairy Girls is in it, but I couldn't make it. I'm like, this isn't funny. What's funny about this?
This.
You know. And then the last one is The Acolyte.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, Patrick.
Oh,
Yeah, ready, Patrick? That's why I saved
Yes.
the last
The
one.
last.
Oh, yes.
So again, I'm watching that, and I get halfway through the first episode, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah.
At least the Mandalorian, I had some like connection to. Ahsoka, I kind of knew who that was, but this, like, I don't care. And finally, I was like, oh, Carrie Ann Moss. She gets killed in the first minute,
Nice.
and I'm like, well, come on.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be, though? It's supposed to be like a whole separate, nothing about the Skywalker baloney.
Right.
but
that way,
in the
nobody
end,
wants to watch
no one
it.
cares.
right.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, I guess, is supposed to be they're setting up, or are the Jedi really good or not?
Basically, yeah.
That's weird.
And so they're that's one where I didn't read the books, Kyle, but I've lived with it my entire life.
I will skip.
So,
yeah. When
yeah,
they
so-
start like bringing science into like it's like don't stop. Like we don't need to know what midi-chlorians are. I don't.
Yeah.
Not the Force is just the Force. Call it a day.
they're on a spaceship and it's on fire in space.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, cool.
But then again,
Like,
Death Star
wait, what?
explode, and that's science. So there you go.
Correct. But
And there is a temple at some point in the season. It's like all stone, and it burns
Yeah.
like like it was,
Yeah.
wood.
Is there a cute character at least?
oh yeah.
Like a little puppet, Muppet?
Well, no.
Oh,
But
forget.
the
No.
main character is actually she's Rue from the Hunger Games movies.
Yeah.
From the first one, she plays Rue,
Oh, yeah. We're starting to watch those movies.
and then it's got the guy from The Good Place.
Squid Game.
What?
The Asian guy, he was in Squid Game,
Right. Yeah. He's the main.
Yeah.
The main Jedi.
and apparently he learned he didn't speak English at all before
Nope.
shooting.
You can tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
You.
He was a
can
third
tell.
member of Milli Vanilli.
Right.
Girl, you know it's true.
Yeah. So I haven't even
Wow.
gotten to the part. There's a guy from
Please.
the good place. Jacinto.
Oh,
You know.
yes.
But
Mhm.
anyways.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Manny
Manny
Jacinto.
Jacinto. Yeah. So he's in it, but I haven't even got to him. Right. Didn't bother. So
Wow.
all right. So that's
No,
what I
yeah,
got,
I mean,
people.
That's
5
good.
shows for you to avoid.
I mean, I didn't bother with that series, but I still read a few reviews along the way, and yeah, that was the right decision. You avoid.
It's always a red flag when they put like these reviews of show before it airs, like this is the best Star Wars show. This is the best Star Wars of all time.
That's like those jackasses that do it with their album. This new album is the best album we've ever made.
Yes.
No, it's never the best album you ever made. No, it's never the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I'm in the greatest shape of my life. Does that matter? No.
Something like that.
Patrick,
Yeah.
have you seen Andor?
Yes,
Did you like it?
loved it.
There's a new one coming out, season 2.
Oh yeah.
I've heard about it, but I wasn't sure if it was like a done deal or
It
not.
is.
Okay, awesome. Do you know if Tony Gilroy?
Oh, there you go. The writer of
Tony
the
Gilroy?
Oh, I have
Oh,
no
Bourne,
idea.
the
the
Bourne
Michael
movies,
Clayton guy
and yeah,
Yeah,
and the Bourne.
Bourne
Bourne
Supremacy.
Born.
Oh, he's involved
yes.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first season for sure. I don't remember about the second season, but yeah, he was like the brain behind
Mhm.
this season 1 of Andor.
Huh?
Well, he did Rogue One, didn't he? Isn't that? I think he was involved in it, but I can't remember if he wrote it.
Some of the writing, I think, but I'm not sure. But that's what I liked. That's what I loved about Andor. It felt like there was none of the Jedi bullshit and none of the midichlorians and none of that horse shit. And it felt like you could just rewrite just a few little things, and it could have been life in an occupied country, European country during World War II, like the resistance, networks going on, and double agents, and guy playing both sides, and that was fucking great.
That's way more interesting than fucking Acolyte.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, you compare. I know that not everybody liked Andor, and that's fine, but that's the kind. Like the writing and the acting in Andor was miles above
Everything else.
everything else
That's what it sounds like.
since
77.
fuck.
70s. Yeah.
I mean, since Return of the Jedi, honestly,
Yeah.
and and Rogue One was fine, and Mandalorian season 1 was okay, and season 2 was decent, but yeah, Andor, right up there.
I do want to say though, really quick, thank you, Woody, for doing the Lord's work on all the shows.
Yeah.
You helped me pick literally what I think I'll watch and what I'm like
Tired?
a hard pass on. So
Yeah,
I
I didn't know about
appreciate you, Woody.
Cameron. I was that was on the list, but then I thought like, oh, I just watched History of the World Part 2 sink and fail, and
Oof.
Yeah, exactly.
it felt like that.
All right. So thank you, Woody. And guys, stay with us. We will be back with part 2.